That's what it's doing.
Okay. I'm here.
Can you hear me?
I can, but I can't see you anywhere.
What? Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can, but I can't
see you anywhere.
What?
Okay, I can.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh dear, something's happening. Okay, I can.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh dear, something's happening. Okay, I can.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh dear, something's happening. Okay, I can.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh dear, something's happening. Okay, I can.
Where's that coming from, Av?
I don't know.
You've got to have the watch page up or something. Where's that coming from, Av?
I don't know.
You've got to have the watch page up or something. Where's that coming from, Av?
I don't know. Oh my
You've got to have the
gosh.
watch page up or something.
Okay, can you see me? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't hear you though. Okay, I can't hear you though. Okay.
Okay, I think you fixed it. Okay, do you have the link though for the new stream or?
Yeah, I just put it, that's the one that I shared it.
What? Where is it?
Hold on. This one here is live on YouTube.
Yes, I know, but where?
I don't know.
Like, where's the link?
Hang on. There's people here. Let me just. Okay. All right. I'm just going to send this to you via Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the watch. That's the watch link. Right. Have you got that one? Did you get it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let me see if I can just do
We better
this.
hurry this up because they're requesting song and dance now. So and natives are restless.
Oh my gosh. Right, got you. I've got you. Okay, I've got something going on. Folks, sorry for the lighting, sorry for the kerfuffle, sorry for the hectic nature. This is our first time live streaming while or after YouTube removed the live Google Hangouts. And this has been an ordeal to set up. So I do sincerely apologize for how long it's taken us to try and get this sorted. Now, can you hear me is what I would like to know. Can you hear me?
This was like a group effort to get this on.
I've got zero light in here. I have to set up my light. It's very dark.
Aw, thanks, Amethyst. That makes me feel special.
We have this out elsewhere. Like, where all have we? Do we have this like elsewhere?
We just did this 5 seconds ago, so nowhere. Nowhere is the answer.
Okay.
Like literally, we had to piece together instructions from Zoom Help and the University of Minnesota to make this happen.
It's so true.
Oh man.
I didn't even have a deck.
Oh, girl, see that part of it. I was prepared. I got the couple.
I'm not that far from the selection. I mean, know this.
Hold on.
Can people hear me? I just
Hold
need
on.
a confirmation of, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hear me now.
Can you hear? Can you? Can you?
I'm just sharing this really quick. Yeah, guys, if you want to share this out, go ahead and share it out because we have this new link that we weren't expecting.
Yes, please share the link. Please.
Yeah. Genuinely obnoxious.
Genuinely obnoxious. That's the phrase of the evening. Genuinely, because it pisses me right the fuck off.
You should see the latency though. Like it is
Awesome.
I got up to get my light and it just showed in the background me getting up to get my light and I've been sitting down for a minute.
What?
Yeah.
Well, the quality is what I was talking about, like the
Yes.
picture quality.
Yeah, the picture quality is incredible.
Well, at least on our end it is.
Can you see me very clearly? I need to turn this picture. There we go. I'm good at this live stream, yeah?
Hold on, I'm not even looking. Oh man, no.
Okay, that's. I think we should just like cross our fingers and hope for the best. But now I feel like I have to have some walnuts because Edgar Casey once said apparently that the key to cancer is in walnuts. And I feel like this live stream may have just instigated some kind of toxic uprising in my body.
Wow. I just ate almonds.
It must just be the latency thing.
Walnut cheers is your almonds then.
Almonds are more delicious, or
Take that back.
Or maybe
I
he
will
thought
not.
it was gonna be in the
I
almond.
will not. You wanna fight these nuts?
I don't even want to talk about
Don't even talk about these nuts.
These nuts.
That's just nasty, and I can't talk about it.
All right. Folks, we don't know what we're doing. That's the clear assumption for today. But we are here and we are trying. I have a mouthful of.
Oh, don't. You have a mouthful of food. We know. Don't say it.
She got a mouthful of nuts. Somebody said it. Somebody had to. It was too easy. I just had to. Got a mouthful of nuts, y'all.
How about it?
We're totally pros. We're professional.
Right, yeah. So, let me just say that this was an ordeal. Never have I felt so stupid, except for this morning when my child tried to get me to play Minecraft on her Switch.
I love my Switch.
Oh.
That would be why. I'm like, why can't I hear you guys? Volume is good. It should turn it up.
It's beautiful.
Whoa. There's a whole.
Actually, gallery view. Can I do a gallery view? Yeah.
What does that mean?
I can see everyone at the same time.
Oh, because that's.
I don't know if that translates.
Oh, well, I was already looking at everyone at the same time.
No, but I mean on YouTube.
I'm
so
sorry.
you can only see me on YouTube. I don't want speaker view.
What? Oh, they can see us all at the same time.
How does can they?
That's what Solar
it's churning, but if I change to A gallery view. I wanted the gallery view to also be visible.
Well, Solaria said they can see all three of us at the same time. Speaker view is one at a time as you talk.
Ah, here we are. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Gallery is all three at the same time.
Oh, I see the difference.
Yes. Wunderbar, wunderbar. All right, let's get started. We know that it's translating. There's a huge latency between the Zoom stream and the YouTube stream. Like, shame on you, YouTube. Shame on you.
We are pissed at you, YouTube.
We didn't even get an email or a
nothing.
Hello.
They were just like, hey, this is happening. That would have been nice. YouTube, looking at you, I see you.
Hanged man. That is indicative of my situation this morning. Indeed, our situations. I'm extending the hangman umbrella to you, brother and sister. That's what it felt like, folks. This is a real life example of how absolutely thwarted. I'm thinking of all these analogies. Ridiculous is what it is.
Oh, okay, but we're here. We're excited. Does anybody have any tarot news?
I do actually. Okay, I only know her as Happy Fish Tarot, but she has rebranded to her own name. What is her beautiful name? Carrie Mellons.
Oh, yeah.
She has just kickstarted, or perhaps it's closing now, the Kickstarter for her Simple Tarot, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So I've backed that one on Kickstarter, and I'm pretty damn excited for that. Chris Ann Donnelly has created another tarot deck, and it is beautiful. And simultaneously, there are some cards that are controversial in it according to the mass populace. I love the whole deck. I love all of the cards, and I think that her work is amazing. It has been picked out by Hay House. So if you didn't get in time for her self-published run, then it's going to Hay House. What else?
Well,
oh yes, I've got another one. Deborah Knopf Chapman, the creator of the Soul Cards 1 and Soul Cards 2, reached out to me and a small group of other tarot lovers to float an idea. And she has been putting together over the last 20, 30 years a collection of celestial faces. She gets the urge to paint these celestial faces, and then she's just been collecting hundreds and hundreds of them. Excuse me. And she's putting them into a deck. And I got a prototype of that deck. So I haven't opened it yet. It only arrived before my my leaving for the workshop that I went to over the weekend. Sorry. How do I mute myself?
As she's dying. How do I mute myself?
Please don't die.
Please don't die. But yeah, what you said about Chris Ann's deck. I read that article that Benabel Gwen wrote, and I thought it was very, very, very well put. What she said and how she analyzed it. And yeah, it's like, I mean, even with your, because it's basically the card that's causing all this controversy is the Ten of Swords, because it is a woman of color who is a slave, or that's what the depiction shows. And she has lashings on her back that are stitched up. And apparently that's causing a stir. But it's just like help me. What was the card with the eagle? I can't think off the top of my head.
It's the tower.
Tower. It's like your tower. But Benabel, she basically what she said is that we don't have enough people of color speaking out and speaking up and telling us the correct way to do it, or giving opinions about how it should be done. And so without those voices in the mix, we're depicting these cards as they should be depicted by evoking strong emotion related to the definition of the card. And that's always been, to me, what tarot is about, evoking, that card should make you angry. It should make you hurt. It's the Ten of Swords. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Right. Yeah. And that's exactly the reaction when I created the Bone Stone Tower card. I depicted an eagle and he had been chained and he was down. Now, I'm not American, right? So when I chose that card, I chose it as, what is the boldest, most incredible type of bird, the one that soars the highest, the one that just embodies power? And Anna and I both agreed on the eagle. And so we put the eagle in that position specifically because we wanted a bird of power, something that had reached great heights, to be taken down. That is what a tower is, something that is towering above us all, great heights, and it comes crashing down. So I used the same symbolism as the Rider-Waite-Smith to create that image. And then suddenly why I created it, how I created it, the thought behind it, the seed, the genius, the inspiration, was other people saw it in a completely different light, and they were very triggered by the choice of bird and how the bird symbolized a particular thing, and how that thing was now, misrepresented or something to that effect. And my point was, it was a bird before it was an emblem. It was a bird before it was a symbol. It was a bird first. And that's what I chose to use.
Yeah. And Benabel talks a lot about deck creator intentions and the fact that when people automatically see an image and then get offended and get upset, they're not thinking about the intention behind the card. Because in a lot of these cases, like Changeling is saying, but isn't that what people of color are trying to do now? Yes. And I feel like these deck creators, more than being offensive, are trying to facilitate conversations by which we are learning and exchanging different viewpoints and opinions and perspectives. And if we can't even start talking about these things, well, then, we're just facilitating tension over and over again. We should be able to have intellectual discussions and learn from one another about why these things are so evocative and so forth and so on. And Benabel even said, I think in her article as well, she was saying how two people can have the same objective, but their philosophies on how to reach that goal are vastly different. And I thought that was just brilliant.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And it's more about, like, tarot is so popular now too, that it is everyone that comes to the tarot, at least from a maker creator perspective, a deck creator perspective, is coming at it with their own narrative, with their own story, and they are telling the story as they see it in the world. And and that's an important thing to consider as well, is that we need more people telling more stories, not just in tarot but everywhere. Right. And this conversation came up at a retreat that I was at over the weekend, and it was how story and narrative is incredibly important. To be able to share your story authentically is a beautiful thing. I'm more inclined to listen to a person telling their story or explaining something through their own lens than I am to watch an unboxing of like makeup products. But we equated this to the fact that children were now just like absolutely I was going to use a Portuguese word then. I've been speaking a lot of Portuguese. The word I was going to use in Portuguese was viciada. So Portuguese people, you know what I'm talking about, but they're addicted to, to the commercial aspect, and they're devoid of story. And, it's so important to start calling back that element of story through spoken word, through music, through tarot, through just so many different mediums. And I think because many of us come together because of the love of the cards, we get to see how other people tell their story through the art in cards. And it's such a smaller pool compared to the grand scheme of things. But I find that it's really important for people to be able to tell their story without being judged by that story. And if you want to say something about it, then don't judge another person who has created. Instead, go out and create your own version of that story the way that you think that it should be created. And then you're adding something that is much more powerful. It's not judgment, it's creation. And that is something that should be looked at more closely as well. If you don't like the way it's been done and you don't agree with it, then don't fight it, don't stomp on it, because it's born out of somebody else's genius at the end of the day. It's not born out of malice, it's born out of genius, their own unique creative flow. If you don't agree with it, then counter that with your own unique genius, your own unique creative flow. It throws into sharp relief as well this natural propensity of people being offended. This has been in my sphere of consciousness for the last 3 weeks, is people offended. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter who you say it to, there's going to be a group of people, and this is specifically prevalent on the internet, that will be offended. And they're offended because they want to be offended. They're offended because they want to get their voice out, and they don't know any other way of doing that. Or perhaps they lack the courage to go about their expressions in a creative way. But there is definitely a surge of this, I'm offended. Like it's everywhere. It's in, groups that I moderate on Facebook. It's in the video comments when I'm, posting videos. It's in the video comments of other people who are posting videos. It's very rarely ever face to face. It's so much more prevalent online, this natural propensity of being offended. So I would like to start the tarot there. First of all, my beautiful tarot brothers and sisters, what card within the tarot would you believe embodies being offended?
Man,
Who's most offended in the tarot?
Are we talking major arcana or minor?
Oh no, the playing field is yours.
Most offended in the probably the 8 of Swords, I would say.
The 8 of Swords?
Yeah.
The person on the other side of the 7 of Swords.
Oh my gosh. I think in a softer way, like the very soft and genuine way. But I like both yours better. What's the angriest card?
What's the angriest card?
The most active could be the 8 of Wands.
Yes.
Defensive, probably 7 of Wands. So that could have a bit of offense to it as well. See, you can be offended in so many different ways, even through the tarot. All right, how shall we move to, folks?
Okay. Well, I guess we need to take questions. And if you guys have questions and you want us to stack read on you, all in caps. And I have no idea how we copy and paste in this lovely new setup. So
yeah, that's what I was looking at right now.
Oh, wait, there's a chat. Oh, there is a chat.
Oh, there's a chat. There's a chat, and it can pop out. So how's about them apples, folks?
Where?
Ooh, she can get really skinny too. Oh, mama's happy.
That's all it takes. I don't see a chat. Oh, just kidding.
On the bottom, little blurby thing.
Chat.
I wanted to just say too, just very quickly, that there is a what's the word? A person in our audience right now by the name of Changeling IBC or LBC, IBC. I'm just going to go with IBC. Forgive me if that's incorrect. And she has posed such thoughtful comments, and I encourage you to read them. And I do thank her. I do thank her or him. Or they. I thank they. Is that right?
I think I think changeling is a she. I'm pretty sure from the comments.
I don't want to assume because someone will be offended.
Yeah. But they just said, at Allora Rain, I'm largely in favor of communication, and I've been lurking this channel for long enough to trust the moral standing behind the three of you.
Oh,
That makes me feel so good.
Because a lot of what she's saying, I have to say this too. Let me say this. So I have to stand with her with a lot of what she's saying because it's one thing, and I feel like I sort of have a leg to say this on, and I sort of don't. So we all know that my grandfather is a full-blood Choctaw. And it's kind of one thing to see, like when we're dealing with issues of non-people of color, creating art depicting, part of our history that we're not proud of. The Trail of Tears was a part of a history that we're not proud of. And to have grown up seeing, how do I say this? It's different to see for me to look at a white person who has no idea about the Trail of Tears depict a piece of art about the Trail of Tears, because it makes me kind of be like, what you doing? That has nothing to do with you whatsoever. And, it's also something different to watch my grandfather, who's an artist, depict something about the Trail of Tears. There's just something, there's something in that is genuine. And it's not to say that, watching somebody not of color paint that too, because there's something to be said in that too. It's good to put that out there and to communicate that with people and still tell a story. And that was the intention. But at the same time, it does make me stand back and be like, what you doing? What you doing there? What you doing? That doesn't have anything to do with you. Nothing to do with you. So I get both sides of that. And I think that's what Changeling is trying to express, is that she sees the both sides of it. But I know exactly how you feel. Changeling, I got you. I know that feeling exactly.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes, it stirs very visceral emotions. Yes, it does. It does. It really does.
Yeah, it's really, really important. It's really important to talk about these types of things. And for me, everything that's sort of being said has an undercurrent of a key word called authenticity. I get annoyed when I hear that people are going to, some local place or some capital city here in Australia, and they're going to do ayahuasca. Now, I am South American. I come from Brazil, and I have experience in the Amazon rainforest. And I can tell you that genus Loki and spirit of place are what make up the experience of the ayahuasca. It feels inauthentic to me when I hear that people are having that experience outside of the Amazon rainforest, outside of that shaman umbrella. And that type of thing, it conjures up that essence of authenticity. Now, I think authenticity is absolutely key. And I also believe that when your heart is in that right place and it's aching to tell a story, then that too is authentic. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It is more that sensitivity and authenticity sometimes collide, and it creates a spark, and it's a little fire, and do with that fire what you will, of course. So I spent the weekend with a Swamiji, so I'm feeling particularly at the moment. I sat through a beautiful puja ceremony and was chanted at to and chanted as well. And I'm feeling very different at the moment. So I wonder how long it's going to take me to wear off.
I am extremely sleep deprived, so I'm feeling very different as well for different reasons.
I love you.
I love you. Oh. My job takes so much out of me. It just takes so damn much out of me.
I believe you.
It really does.
Right, we've got some readings. Oh yeah, okay. I can see what's happening. I can see it. I can see it now.
I'd like to have a story where I tell you that I'm super or super tired? Nah. I don't pretty
You're
much.
super Western Australian right now.
Yes. Oh, I can tell you that. I'm an American living in Western Australia at the moment. So I'm totally backwards.
Actually, you're forward from a hemisphere perspective.
Yeah.
It's still Sunday.
Still Sunday.
This is what the future looks like, folks. Rightio, so we're going to start from the top. We have from Christopher Jackson, what outcome will we see from the G7?
No.
Is that, we're going from the bottom first?
No. That was actually Fred, or I don't know, FP, but I know him as Fred.
Yes.
That was his question. I just forgot to copy his name.
Oh, I say. Okay, yeah. My bad, Chris Jackson. That's not you.
You're the next one.
It just popped out of my deck. Ha!
Oh.
It knew we was talking about him.
All right, I gotta focus. What decks are you using?
I broke out Sun and Moon.
Oh, and I have Everyday Witch. I just love this little deck.
I ordered that deck. Come on, Book Depository. It's been probably 2 weeks. I'll pick up the kids and it'll be there and I'll be like, oh, damn it.
Oh, okay. Well, Fred, I'm just going to tell you. What will you see from the G7 Summit? 4 of Swords. Nobody's going to do a friggin' thing.
Yeah, 5 of Cups. Everyone's going to be sad that no one's going to do a frickin' thing. Bring it home, Chase.
Good God, man.
This literally says disappointment on it.
So everyone's going there with some intention of not doing anything. Basically, it's going to be a circular system.
Yeah, and it's going to be really disappointing.
Yeah, because lots of things.
Really emotively disappointing. You got the 8?
Yeah.
Or let's think out of the box here. Hold on. Or there could be, follow me here. If I have to explain this, I will. There could be more dudes than chicks there.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Patriarchal dominance. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Patriarchal dominance.
Yes, Soren, the Everyday Witch Oracle is out now, which I plan to get. I love the artwork of this little thing. Because you'd think that this wouldn't be as good as it I mean, no offense, but it's so whimsical. Like, it's not my style typically, but.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you're having such a good experience.
I
It's not my style either. But after you told me, it's amazing. Oh, it sat in my basket for a little while going, she doesn't mean that. Surely she doesn't mean it. And then finally she goes, no, it's that good.
And then I have this sitting next to it. So you see, actually not my usual brand of deck. Let's see.
Yeah, those are the kinds of decks that I run from. I'm like, happy and whimsical. Here
you go. I can sum up that last reading. So the G7 Summit is going to be a sausage fest, and nobody's going to do a friggin' thing.
Prediction made. Stamp that one done. Right, moving on to the next one. This one is actually Christopher Jackson.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out which way the chat moves because I didn't see you add them and I didn't see how they were adding. So am I going from the bottom, Kylie Russell, or am I going from the top, Christopher Jackson?
Top. Christopher Jackson.
Okay, what's stopping me business-wise? I love this. I'm all about business. This witch is hustle right now. Oh, hello. Hello, my beautiful altar / empire. Rightio, let's have a look.
Woo!
Oh, it's a fear of failure. Reverse 7 of Pentacles. Fear of failure. That's what's stopping you. It's a fear of failure. Perhaps you're using your visualization techniques in the wrong way. I read this in a book recently and it hit home. It was basically talking about how human beings have this beautiful power of visualization, but the way that they tend to use it is very subconscious, and it is all about sort of seeing, like preempting the not so great or the negative situation rather than the positive situation. It's something that spurs on after adulthood, they were hypothesizing, put it this way. And so they said children don't have that inner negative visualization capability. They're visualizing going to Disneyland, and they're visualizing like unicorns riding unicorns. And I can definitely see that as the mother of small children. But yeah, when you're a little bit older and responsibility weighs in, that adulthood starts creeping in, so too do all of those obligations and responsibilities. And our power of visualization then becomes much more negative. We start to preempt the things that perhaps have been programmed into us from our parents. If you don't do this, you will have that, or vice, or reverse of that. And so, yeah, I think it's an inadvertent fear of failure. Perhaps you haven't been encouraged enough. Actually, that's what it feels like. I don't think you have enough people around you going, I think you can do this. You need to do this. And why aren't you doing this? So lots of encouragement. Then it turns into that inner monologue. Well, lacks the confidence, and that fear of failure starts creeping in. That's my deduction.
And with that said, I believe that your confidence comes from a strong source of knowledge. And the High Priestess tells me that maybe you don't have that knowledge yet. Maybe you haven't learned that thing or that group of things or that lesson that will give you that confidence in order to feel successful in your business. Because the High Priestess, she knows a lot. She knows things. The High Priestess knows things.
She knows things.
She knows things. So maybe it's just finding that last little bit of whatever your business is. Maybe it's as easy as reading how to start a business book. Maybe that's where your confidence is. I don't know. There's a lesson there that you haven't learned yet, or a fact that you haven't learned yet. There's something there that you need to learn.
I can finish this tidbit.
Bring it on.
So 3 cards actually flew out, so I'm gonna read them all together, like as a one card. But Page of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, if you see that, and the Hangman in reverse. So basically what Chase was just saying is you haven't learned everything. So, but here's the thing. So you think you know, but you don't. Because the Page of Pentacles is often can be a little bit, because they are so good at planning and organization and those kinds of things, and getting their affairs in order when it comes to practical things. They tend to be slightly arrogant about what they know, what they can do, etc. But at the same time, like this is, for example, so this guy here, he's got the map on the ground and he's not looking at it at all. So there's some piece of the puzzle that you're blatantly not paying attention to, that you might want to pay attention to. And this is basically sheer unmotivated laziness. Like it's right in front of your face. And you need to actually take a good survey around your business as to what you have in order and what you don't, and not be afraid to admit that you don't have something in order, and then pursue it. And the Hanged Man in reverse goes back to what Avalon was saying as well, is that you're afraid to start. So on the one hand, you think you've got everything in order. On the other hand, you're afraid to start, but there is a piece missing in there.
And that's the knowledge. That's what Chase was talking about. I need to crank up my light.
What?
There we go.
We just owned that one.
Bam!
Welcome. We started late, but we're here, folks.
We showed up and she's probably pregnant. It's fine.
I'm sorry, what?
What? I don't. What?
All right, we're moving to the next one, folks. We are moving to the next one. We have Shy Witch here. Hello, big shout out to Shy Witch. Thank you for supporting us. Did you know that Shy Witch is most often than not always watching us whenever we do a live stream? So this is one of our beautiful subscribers. Big shout out. General reading, please. So we can just pluck out inspiration right now, folks. I love a general reading.
Woo!
Like a palate cleanser.
Isn't it? All right, babies.
Isn't
I don't feel like
happy. Oh.
I had a card fly out, but I don't feel like mine's the starter.
Me too. Mine's not a starter.
Oh, that just leaves me. Oh, son, I am the starter. I believe this is a really, and I can't help but say it, you're all going to be like, oh, such a stereotype of a keyword, but optimistic, like optimistic. And I think if you build on your optimism, it can become radiance as well. But this is a happy cycle. I like the sun for healing. I like the sun for regeneration. I also like the sun for accolades. I love the sun for accolades. So I'm setting the tone with sun. How do your cards plug in Rubik's Cube style to my sun? Who's next?
Well, now I'm just confused.
What do you got? What card did you come up with?
I got the Page Pence from the HEAPS Tarot.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
I know. Doesn't this deck just like hit you in the feels? God, it makes me
Okay,
so
so
mad.
you're before me, like I thought, because I got the King of Pence.
All right, so we got the Page of
Hey.
Pentacles. I know, it's a beautiful card. Have you not seen this deck?
No.
Okay, side note, hold on, because I have to show, if you have not seen this card, hold on. Because I think of you every single time. Hold on. Pause the reading, folks. Hold on, because I have to show this to you.
Okay. We will be back with a message from our sponsor.
I love this deck. There are so many humdingers in this deck. Oh my God.
I've never seen
Did
it
you
before.
say humdingers? I'm gonna need you.
He did. Yeah, he did.
There's some humdingers up here in this deck.
He really does talk like that in person, folks. I've witnessed it.
Do you see this card? Tell me about this card. Tell me that it does not just like hit you right in all the feels.
Oh my God.
She's literally being pierced by the tarot. Do you see this? Like it's just
and it's oozing out of her.
Yeah, and it's a heart, y'all. Like I cannot get over this card. I cannot.
That's amazing. I need it. Send me the name in our chat. I'll buy it.
All right. Because you need it. If it's out of print now, so I mean, if that matters to you.
Oh, I'll find it.
Because I got one of the last ones, I think. But anyway, continuing on to our reading. So my very amazing queer and here's what I have for you today. This is the Page of Pentacles, followed after the Sun. So the Page of Pentacles, I consider the page to be a transfer of something. So the page is very young and knowledgeable, and so it's all about learning things, and the page is just new at something.
Resources.
So we have the Pentacles, which is resources, right? So we're having like a transfer of resources that is gonna bring about the sun in your life. Next.
In your life.
I like that. Combined, they both can mean like good, like growth, because if page is action and sun is the energy to channel, that's growth. What have you got, Allora?
So I got the King of Pentacles, right?
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
What a prosperous.
Hello there.
Resources. That's all I can say for you today.
But I also feel like Shy Witch, this is for Shy Witch, right?
It's for Shy Witch, yes.
I also feel like you may be being mentored or just looking to someone in your life that already has these skills. So they're transferring their knowledge to you as far as practical, material, budgeting. Also, hell, you may even have a garden practical things that are associated with the earth and resources. So you're learning all of these things. And right now you're in the page stage. Oh, I'm going to coin that.
Page stage.
But you are looking to someone who is a master of these things, to emulate that person. I mean, they may not even know that they are mentoring you. You may be doing this from afar, but you're definitely learning some awesome new skills from someone in your life who is really great at cultivating material and resource possessions.
I like these.
Page of
Witch. Thank you.
Oh, what?
Ali Russell. Do you want to read it out? You want to read it out?
No. Raven Moth. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello from South Africa. New here.
Hello.
Can I ask for insight into my psychic abilities? So I already have a card. I was just shuffling and it flew out, and I was like, "Oh, I don't even know the question yet."
Oh my God! I have a card too, and it's so good.
What is the question?
What is the question? The question is, can I ask for insight into my psychic abilities?
Oh, you may. You absolutely
Indeed, she may.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do some things. Yes.
Feeling very self-important right now. Nodding.
Do you have the starter card, or do I? Do you have a major or a minor?
I have a major.
Okay, you're the starter card.
I have the best major.
Really?
No, you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, yeah, right. I'm going to start with the Fool. Yes, you haven't even scratched the surface of your psychic abilities. You are right now in that space of spirit in search of experience. So I think experimenting with all different modalities of divination and scrying are definitely something that's going to help you to truly extract the talents, figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at, or not necessarily not good at, because we can all be good at everything, right? But great at. Figure out which one sort of resonates, figure out which one sits well, comes naturally, sort of triggers you in the best possible ways. And I think it's about chalking up that experimental experience and having a lot of fun with it, and really genuinely being that seeker, that like a powerful spirit in search of experience. That is the Fool. Who's next?
Would you get changed?
I mean, I got a card.
What'd you get?
I got the 7 of Wands.
Oh, hold that. You're last.
Okay.
So I find it hilarious that Avalon said the word scrying, because I got the King of Cups. So I feel like, so when we talk about cups, we're talking about water. Water is associated with our intuitive senses, as well as dreams and our emotions and all of those things. So a couple of things, like when we're talking about intuitive gifts that come to my mind, or well, that come to me as far as this card and you're concerned, you may be clairsentient. You may be a high sensing feeler, because water cards are very, it's a receptive energy, and they're associated with emotions. And so high feeling person, they are also, I'm also getting a sense that out of the King of Cups that you should try scrying with water. I don't know if you know anything about that, but do some research, because you might be gifted in water divination. So scrying with water, shell divination, there's all kinds of different things you can get into there. And this also basically is saying that once you dive in to exploring your intuitive gifts, it's going to be easier than you think it is, because you have this natural connection to your intuitive self. And Chase, that leads into your 7 of Wands.
So my 7 of Wands. So when we talk about a traditional, I kind of want to, how long is it going to take? Hold on. I kind of want to No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, let me just explain it to you. So in like a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the 7 of Wands is more of like a guy standing, like fending off a bunch of other wands with his wand. That's a traditional 7 of Wands. So I feel like with everything that Avalon was saying, it's sort of like in this realm of I feel like there's a block there in your sort of receptive energy. I think once you unlock that, you're going to find that you can do all of these things and really dive into all these things that Allura was saying, but also just like defensive magic in general. Like that's a thing, you know, maybe that's like going to be your go-to kind of like, this is what I'm good at. So I would definitely say explore all of those avenues, and definitely check out the defensive side of, you know, like wards and all those kinds of things. Like try exploring that too. See what you find.
Sorry, Allura and I both pasted the same question twice.
What deck am I using? Loving the images. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake and, hold on, Elizabeth Alba. There's also a matching oracle that just came out for this deck. I love this deck. You wouldn't, like, the imagery is very whimsical, and you wouldn't think that it's a very intuitive deck, but it so is.
It's very cartoony and drawing with a deep line.
It is very cartoony. Avalon, tell me you don't love this.
Okay.
I do love it.
I know.
Illuminated skull.
So Raven Moth, I hope that answered your question, and I'm so excited that we got to read your question because this is your first time here. So yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, next, Kylie Russell. What's next in my witch journey?
Oh, Kylie Russell.
What next?
What's next in your witch journey?
I bet something witchy.
Oh, we will make you want all the decks.
Yeah.
Deck lust. We give deck lust.
Yep. We give deck.
So much deck. So much deck.
We come with the big deck energy.
Oh shit. All right.
You know what? I'm not feeling this deck. I'm not feeling this deck for this question.
Yeah, I just looked over my shoulder at my very newly tidied shelves, so I can actually find my decks now. And I'm like, is it time? But I haven't loved Sun and Moon. I lost it for a while, probably like 5. Oh, Barbara Morinelli fell. Oh yes. Oh yes.
This is totally not mine. Just so you know.
Is that Jay's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
got one, and I would like to go first.
I'm
How's
gonna
that in
work.
the same space?
What?
I've got a card, and I'd like to go first.
Well, I saw this deck this morning, and I was like, I'm gonna work that out today.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's one of my favorite autumn decks.
Yeah. The coloring for sure.
Yeah, it just begs it. But I find that is one of the most, like, oh God, that's a good all-rounder. Like, it's a heavily themed deck, but it's such a good all-rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to start, okay? I've got the start, okay? And so in terms of, let me just refresh myself on the question, what is next in your witch journey? I think it is a matter of inspiration and guidance at the same time. I think that you might need to start to level up a bit. You're at a place now where you can start to really gain some momentum, but finding a really inspiring teacher and or guide and or mentor will take you to the next level. Something that you can really help to, like, you know, activate all of that knowledge that you've already acquired and put it into perspective. Because when we self-study the craft, it's a beautiful thing to self-study the craft. When we do, our information is spread across years and modalities because we flitter from one subject to another. We might come back to that same subject, 5 years down the track, whatever. And so getting a guide, a teacher, and a mentor to help you put all of that information into perspective, to categorize it, to give it context, to give it language, to give it names and titles of things. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. And so that's where I think you are. That's where I think you're at.
What'd you get?
What I get? I got this very beautiful 8 of Cups.
Woo!
Woo!
And this 8 of Cups. So I think this was like the literal Rider-Waite Smith definition of the 8 of Cups, and I think it is simply to just give joy. I think what is next in your, is that the Rider-Waite Smith or is that the, it doesn't matter. Anyway, my message to you is
That's not the Rider-Waite
joy. It is. So when we get so good, it's kind of like when I got good enough at tarot, the next level for me was to then take that knowledge that I have acquired and start to give it out to other people. I found my next level when I started being able to educate others, when I started hosting workshops, when I started doing, and that is where I found my absolute just passion is all shit. I get my next workshop next year. I'm actually going out to Rochester, New York for a workshop. I'm hosting a workshop next year. Not to just shameless plug, this all has a purpose, I promise. But that was where I just found myself and my joy. It's when you acquire enough knowledge about your craft, about what you are passionate about, what you love, that you can sort of level up and find your next step in your journey where you can start giving that out to others, whether it's you are finally confident enough now in, we were talking a minute ago about defensive magic. Maybe now it's time that you learned enough about it and now you can start helping other people with that. So I think your next step is to take your craft out to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And mine ties in with both of yours. So I got the 6 of Pentacles. So this is basically a message of invest in yourself as much as you give of yourself. So whatever you're investing in, getting mentored by someone who is at the next level, or taking a course or taking a workshop or anything like that, whatever classes or even study time that you're putting into leveling up, so to speak, will be repaid in due time. So whatever you put in, you'll get out. And I think that's the literal message of the 6 of Pentacles. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. And, shameless plug.
Since we're all doing it tonight.
I have a website launching on August 30th. Woo! I'm so excited. I'm so, oh, you guys you've seen it. You haven't seen it yet. My logo got finished. It is the bomb.
Wait, I've seen it. I've seen it.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen
it because she was
pre-finished version.
She's been expanding.
When I thought you were pointing to me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Can you send me that one then? Because when I edit our interviews,
yeah,
then I can do your legit logo.
So I have it in black and white and cyan for watermarks, so I can send you whichever one. But then I have full color. I'm so excited! I can't wait to show you. I'm so excited. But that's another example too of I was just talking about putting in and getting back, those kinds of things, doling out, money for websites and Zoom video, different business products and whatever you have to get, it will come back. Ooh, in your favor. What is the next question?
Jas H.
No. That's not him.
That's not your, I was like, that's your,
I know that's why you looked at me. I'm like, no, that ain't him. That's my partner's name as well, but there's no H.
All right, I'm down. All right. Catching special mind. Any new love coming my way? Any new love? Are you bored with the old love? Romance is all about old love, isn't it?
Well, never mind. I'm gonna not say that.
Two of Wands, individuation.
What is it? What?
Two of Wands.
Ooh. What do you get?
Well, okay, so it flew out, but it's the card that I just had, so I don't know if it really applies
Did it
to this
fly
one.
out face up or did it fly out face down?
Face up.
Oh, it must be red, friend. It must be red.
I mean,
What is it? I can't.
Eight of Wands.
how weird is that? That's why I looked down and I was like,
You know, in my Sacred Circle Tarot, the Eight of Wands has the key phrase stamped on it, which is love.
Do you see this? My partner's like, not me, not me. What the hell? He's probably going to be messaging me going, that's not me, babe. That's not me. No, we know it's Jasmine from California. She told us. So I got the Ace of Pentacles. So with your two cards, what I'm like sensing is you have to make a choice. Now, it can be between two different options, or it can just be the choice to, since you had the Eight of Wands in your hand as well, someone you might be interested in may be not as accessible as you'd like them to be, whether that means they live far away or they're they're emotionally unavailable or something like that. But once you make a decision, it can manifest into something. It can be a new something.
All right, I'm going to go next. I have the Two of Wands, and I think that I feel that this is the case. You are going to be far more attractive when you A, figure out what you want, and B, when you have a really good, solid sense of self. Now, fire is exuberant. It's warming. It's attractive. We all want to have a fling with a fire person. But the fact of the matter is, it's about accessing that authenticity, that power, that passion, really bringing it into self and embodying that as completely as possible. And that is in turn going to help you to attract the right person for you, and an incredible person at that, because fire has a tendency of burning off the weak, the withered, the sickly. Like, we're thinking the cleansing fires of Canaz in a more runic system sense. So yeah, individuate. So no, not soon.
but that's okay. Because you know what? It's been a long time for me too, and I'm A-okay.
But when it does come your way, it's not going to be the easy choice. Like, the right choice isn't going to be the easy choice.
Quit laughing at me. Quit laughing at me.
Are you going to stop breathing? Okay. SM8 Moon, general read, success changing from practical career as a nurse practitioner into more spiritual artistic endeavors, question mark.
Success changing from practical career as a nurse.
What? I missed all that. Did it?
So SM8 Moon said general reading, success changing from practical career as a nurse practitioner into more spiritual / artistic endeavors.
I mean,
Mine's not the first card, so I'm not going to go first.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This tarot deck's being cheeky. I don't know if I like your tarot deck, babe. It's giving me the shit.
Which deck are you using right
Steampunk Tarot.
now?
By Barbara Moore.
Boy, Barbara.
It's being real cheeky, and I feel like it just told me that that this question is about transitioning. Well, no shit. Like, thanks.
Is that another is that the 8 of Wands again?
Yes, it is.
our patron card for the day, 8 of Wands.
Right? Apparently so.
I tell you what, if I pull it in my deck, then yes, it will be.
Right?
But I feel like this is, but I also feel like this is saying, as far as you switching from your nurse practitioner career to something else, you're firing out all different kinds of ideas without a focus because you're ready to not be a nurse practitioner anymore. Like you just want out. So I would highly recommend focusing that on a particular thing, a niche, something that you're passionate about, that you want to make a business out of, or even another occupation that you are super passionate about and want to get into.
Mm-hmm. What have you got, Chase?
I have the 5 of Swords.
Oh, can I go first then?
Yeah, please.
Because I got the 4 of Swords. Maybe you should go first, actually, because mine's rest and yours is confrontation. So
Yeah, it is. So I feel like in this switch, there's going to be a lot of conflicting ideas, and people are going to somehow feel slighted by it. People aren't going to understand it. But I think at the overall, now that I know what Avalon's card is, I think having all of that, we can either choose to use that as fuel and let that keep us at unrest, or we can take all of that and be like, if that's what I want to do, then everybody else can just chill. And it's going to be, you have to make the choice that's going to help you sleep at night, and it's going to help you kind of just be happy and content with yourself at the end of the day.
I like that. And mine is the 4 of Swords, and this is about rest. Okay. And in this context, it means to take a breath and really assess what it is that you would like to do. More than that, though, is you're not going to be able to just jump from one to the other. There is going to be a transitional period, but in the middle of that transitional period, you're going to have to switch off from both and just realign, rebalance, recenter, redefine who you are, redefine the language that you have for yourself. Because as Chase said, when you switch from one to the other, you've gone from a solid career that people can accept and understand to something that a lot of people don't understand and they don't necessarily value in that. And I can speak from personal experience, folks, because I run a spiritual business and, you know, I have degrees and I have the things, right? And so transitioning from that was difficult. I saw it again with my husband, who is very well established in his profession, and he has a lot of expertise and university degrees and certificates behind him. When he transferred to just be a farmer, there was a lot of inherent justification that had to go on. And we all just needed to take a breath at one point. It's just like, no, we need to take a beat and really come to terms with how good it felt and draw from that goodness and how wonderful it made us feel, draw the strength in our words and our language. So we managed to do that really eloquently, and I feel like it worked out very well for the both of us, but it did take time. You need to take a beat. You do need to have a rest.
Yeah, and that feeds into the 8 of Wands as well, because again, with you like projecting all different kinds of ideas out there, you need time to think about what it is you actually want versus just knowing that you don't want to be that thing anymore.
That's it. It's like the 8 of Wands, not cups. The 8 of Wands can actually, it's such an action-packed card. It's got so much power behind it that it can in fact be blind ambition.
Why are you on the phone with work?
Do they know that you're live streaming on YouTube right now?
No.
All right, next one. We've got PPI Jen Hodgson. Hi, Jen. What's the biggest change that's coming that I need to prepare for?
Ooh.
The biggest change I need to prepare for. Okay, yeah, okay. change. I love that. Preparing for change. That's a good thing to prepare yourself for. Change. It's so good to read with sun and moon again. I love it.
It is the Sun and Moon Tarot, Lisa.
I have the Ace of Swords. What do you have, Allora Rain? We're going to skip Chase on this one because he's busy.
The 6.
All right, I'll go first. The aces are the quintessence of the elements in which they represent, in which case we have the quintessence of air. So this is the seed of a new idea. With that seed comes that powerful surge for something new, something different, and it is the beginning of beginnings. So air is very cleansing. Whatever it is that you're starting, you've never done it before. So that's where I'm starting.
And then I got the 6 of Swords. And I feel like this has to do with either a family or a social group dynamic that you're currently in is going to be changing with this new idea. So oftentimes when you have a new idea and you want to implement it and you want to put it in place, dynamics have to change, roles have to shift. And so that will be going on as well. Now, because it's the ace that we're dealing with, the manifestation portion of this probably won't be for a while, but these are the preparation steps. So just know that that dynamic's going to shift once you start manifesting this new idea. You're welcome. Oh, we just did a reading without you.
I love you.
That's all. That's fine.
Okay, that's fair, because I cannot put my cell phone down. It's glued to my, inner ear.
If I don't answer my phone, I get fired. So
you keep saying that, but you also just got a promotion, so I'm not buying it anymore.
No, if I don't answer my phone, I have to be available 24/7. Trust me, I wish I didn't have to be.
That sounds like a disease that I do not want to catch.
I think it's an addiction.
No, because I let it go twice, thinking that they could call my assistant. Then they called me a 3rd time. So.
Right.
Okay.
Moving on. We shall not judge you. We are not judging.
We shall not judge you, but we are.
I can't read it.
All right. We're moving on to the next one. This is Kayla Hamilton. Hi. Hello, Kayla. What's the biggest change? Oh no, that's the wrong one. would love a message for spiritual direction. Okay. I need to start highlighting them. They're all bleeding one into the other.
Oh,
and thank you.
Woo! Spiritual, I'm going first.
Go. I'm still shuffling.
The Tower. So, with the Tower, message for spiritual direction. Just knock it all down and start over from the beginning. That's basically the message here. Whether it's through your doing or not, some belief or belief system you have held on to is not serving you. It is not in your best interest. It is not resonating with your soul, who you are, et cetera, et cetera. So with the Tower, oftentimes we see that the Tower is pulled down, it is destroyed so that we can start from the foundation and rebuild. So this is saying you need to start again and rebuild.
I go next. I have to.
You
I have to. I got the Death card.
Oh!
I really did need to go last.
So the Death card, something ain't working and you got to tear that down and you got to start over. and it's big. It's something that is having these two cards back to back. It's something big, and it's something that I feel like you already know, and something that like it needs to happen. This is like this is not even something that's like, hey, I could do that. No, this is like something that you need to do. This is definitely pay attention to this.
I like it. And I come in with the King of Cups, our Renaissance man. Here's what I'm feeling, that water is the conduit to the divine, but it's also very cleansing. And so with all this death and destruction happening, sounds ghastly when you say it like that. With all this death and destruction, it's the cleansing water that's going to be your saving grace. And so I really do believe that it comes from that intuitive perspective. It's going to help to, when all of this takes place, when the end happens, when the collapse happens, it's going to evoke the very essence of what is uniquely and beautifully spiritually you. And that is something that is linked to your emotion, to your imagination. It's going to sort of churn that well of powerful creationist energy. And yeah, I really think that water is going to be your power element. That's how I feel.
Okay, where are we
I'm
at?
switching decks, okay? I love you, my baby. I'm just going to quickly peruse my shelves. Feel free to read one without me, okay? I'm just gonna peruse the shelves. Wait, what are we feeling as far as deck goes? No, don't tell me, I know.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Alrighty then. Okay, Solaria. Willow. Ooh, good Lord. I just said your name and a card flew out. General info, please and thank you. Ooh. What you got?
So this card flew out me, and it is the Queen of Cups. I love this Queen of Cups, but I love this art anyway. Like the English Magic Tarot is just, it's so my soul art. I freaking love this deck so much. So the Queen of Cups, general energy. So talking about the Queen, we're talking about a union of something. And when we're talking about the cups, we're talking about, obviously we're talking about water. We're talking about emotions. We're talking about fluidity. We're talking about, I was going to say being wet, and then I had to pause because never mind. But boy,
No, we ain't
and I didn't
talking-
know. Like, it literally came into my head, and then everything that I was going to say after that just went, yeah, skirt, and I couldn't think of anything else. Like I still can't. I got to get myself back here. So the Queen of Cups, general energy. So this is obviously something that there's something that has happened to you that has been emotional, and it is time to take those pieces and turn them back into water and just let them melt back into each other and unify whatever emotional fragments that you've got. There's something out there, and I'm getting sort of a feeling that it involved somebody close. And I don't think that it happened recently, but there's still effects of that. And so like, it is just time. Life is just saying it is time to get over it. Like put the pieces back together and move on.
Because I got the 9 of Cups. So basically from what Chase was saying about time to move on and let go, the 9 of Cups here is basically saying like, let that shit go because it's all going to be fine. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to, and life is going to be good. You're going to be emotionally fulfilled. You're going to feel better. You know, I feel like singing the song from Frozen. I don't know, but that's the basic message of the reading. And just so everybody knows, you know, when we get together in a Walmart, Disney songs are broken out in the freezer section. Woo!
It just happens. It just happens.
What can I expect to happen by the September 20th full moon in Pisces? Amethyst Muse.
Ooh. Well, hello there. Welcome back.
Hi, friends.
What deck do you have for us?
I love the card that fell out for this.
Darkness and light, darkness and light, darkness of light.
The darkness of light.
Is it? Wait. Darkness of light.
What I just said.
Yes, you were
It's
correct. But I had to see it for myself, you know.
Nobody listens to me. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go first. So the question is, Amethyst Muse, what can I expect to happen by the September 20th full moon in Pisces? So I'm going first because this is really hilarious. So in this deck, the Steampunk Tarot, the Two of Swords flew out at me, and she is standing under a full moon. So no doubt this card is for you. Two of Swords. So you're gonna definitely make a decision between two very different options. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, I could go into more detail, but I feel like that's the crux of the matter, is that you've been stuck in your mind between two things, and by the full moon, the Pisces full moon, you will know which direction you want to go. Who's next?
I don't feel like I can follow that.
I don't feel like I can follow that. Okay.
Let me just.
I can't.
Because I got like the.
Oh, the Hanged Man.
Yeah. Will she know though, or is it that she will know but she doesn't think she knows?
I think that you're onto something,
know.
because I got the Queen of Wands, and I think that someone's going to have to tell her.
Or it could be that she will make up her mind but not take action until.
Someone's going to tell her. Some bossy, beautiful Queen of Wands bitch is going to tell her.
Ooh.
Yeah. Be mindful of stars and black hats. Cats, not hats. Cats.
Black
What?
hats. Bam! I love that card. I love that art a lot.
Beautiful. Yes.
I love that.
Powerful. Right, who have we got next? Solaria, Willow. Hello, Solaria. Welcome.
No.
I already did that one.
Oh
You were
no,
done with that one.
that was that
We're
one.
on, we're on Miranda Widows.
Miranda Widows. Let me highlight you, Miranda Willows.
Widows.
Widows.
Oh, right indeed. I'm having eye surgery, folks. It's a real thing.
Why do I feel like my boyfriend doesn't take our relationship seriously?
Bam! 9 of Wands. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's open her right up. Let's have us a little bit of tarot surgery, should we? All right. So let's talk about the 9 of Wands for a minute. So the 9 of Wands, you're feeling very guarded, and that's very it's extremely typical in a lot of relationships. Anytime I ever get relationship readings, let's not be super honest, not a lot of people come to me for relationship readings. I'm not one of those that's like, what does my love life look like? Like, I'm just not that type. Not that I can't. That just it's not who I attract. Anyway, so 9 of Wands, you're feeling very guarded about something, and I think maybe you might actually be keeping something away from him that's really important, something that he should know regarding someone else. Am I reaching here? And I don't think that made it sound like a cheating thing. I don't think it's that at all. But there's something about someone else there that you're very guarded about, or someone that you are guarding. Maybe that's what it is.
Empress, so feel free to use that in any prompting that you need. I got the Empress.
Interesting.
Oh. So, I got the King of Pentacles in reverse.
Dodgy. Feels dodgy, folks.
So you've had somebody in your past that's done some things that maybe he doesn't agree with. Would that be the reverse message there? In combination with that? You've done something, somebody feels like they've been slighted somewhere somehow.
I'm feeling that there's
fill in the blanks for me, Avalon. With the
okay. You hold that, and I'm going to see what I can work in there. I feel like there's a tremendous amount of emotion, because for me, the Empress is that beautiful, emotional woman. She's not in reverse. Nevertheless, I don't think there's a single card in this deck. It's very new to me that is in reverse. But I still feel like it holds an overtly emotional energy, to the point where there could be some clinginess going on there. There can be some, over affection.
Clingy. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling too. There's somebody somewhere that you're still clinging on to, but I don't get, the energy isn't relationship, but there's something there But I almost want to say that it's almost a paternal energy. It's a male energy somewhere.
Is it
Masculine energy. Yeah, I feel that though.
yeah.
That, like,
I had something in my head and then I just lost it. And more to the point of like, it feels very comparative mindset. Like
yes.
there is this, you're measuring the level of
Could it, I mean,
the question is, why do you feel your boyfriend doesn't take your relationship seriously? Maybe because you're measuring your boyfriend's approach to your relationship through the lens of another experience.
and maybe your expectations are too
Full on.
She has a kid.
Oh, she hasn't. We have a new kid together.
Is it a boy?
Oh.
So, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because when you got the Empress, right? I was like, that's a lot of mom energy. And then you came up with, help me. What was your card?
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh, nine of wands. There's no one else here, Chase. Duh, it's me. Pay attention. Jesus.
Oh, but I'm pointing at the screen, like you can see where I'm pointing. I'm like, what card did you get?
You're pointing to the top, like the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me break this down for you. So you are feeling new mom stuff.
Am I pointing at Allora if I do this?
Yes.
No, I'm above you.
Oh, see, you're beside me.
That's in mine. You're like right there.
Okay, so listen. So you are in the throes of motherhood, and with the Nine of Wands in there too, you're tired, you're weary, you're getting this new thing down. This is, it's been emotionally and physically and mentally exhausting. And I think you might be having some unrealistic expectations about your boyfriend taking the relationship seriously, because you have both been thrown this monumental task with a new baby. But I mean, suffice it to say, moms are the ones that have to feed and so forth and so on. And you are very much in Empress mode. And I feel like maybe your boyfriend is in there and he's helping, but you're not exactly seeing that because of your role. Does that make sense? Does anybody hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got
It's
you.
a huge
But that explains the
dynamic.
whole paternal jab of energy that I was getting, because even though she drew the Empress, I was still thinking there's a conflict of paternal energy in there. But if it's issued with a kid, then
I think it's a conversation worth having. Like, you might need to instruct him. Like,
Right.
Chris needs to speak up.
Yeah, because she feels like
her abode.
Yeah, because she obviously feels like he is not delivering when it comes to practical stuff, like not anticipating the need to go buy this or the need to have bottles ready in the middle of the night, or things like that, or whatever. House chores, dividing those things. So it's definitely a conversation.
Yeah, getting on the same page is going to be helpful. All right, what's next?
To light my card, you're feeling very guarded for your kid. That's why you have a fence built. It's around your kid. It all makes sense now.
It's a mama bear thing.
Gararo.
Okay, what's next?
Tamaya spirit.
Tamaya spirit.
Yeah.
Love her.
I'm back. I will be reading at a circus next month. Is it a good idea to work all 4 days? I have a regular job and other dates I'll be reading, debating 2 or 4 days. 2 days, 2 of Wands, 2 days.
Immediately I got to.
What did you get?
2 of Wands.
What'd you
2
get?
of coins.
And I got 7 of Wands and 7 of Cups.
I'm feeling 2.
Yep, those.
And then 7 at other events.
7 and other events.
Well, so both of these cards mean like making up your mind and sticking by your decision. So 2 days.
2 it is. Lock it down. We have Claire next. And Claire says, my intuition, is it at a right place? How could I develop it more? I've just filled in some words.
Wait, what?
My intuition, is it at a right place? Is it in a right place? At a right place? Do you know, can you see what I mean?
I can see what you mean. I have to urinate and I'll be back. So you go ahead without me.
Okay.
I am craving some macaroni and cheese. I'm telling you, it's fierce.
I'm feeling that your intuition is in the Knight of Cups position right now.
Do I click stop video on this thingy?
See down the bottom. Hang on, wait. Mute audio. Stop video. There. You can go now. No one can see you. Yeah, so I got this Knight of Cups, right, while you're still shuffling there, Chase. And I'm feeling like it's definitely there and it wants to move. But, you know, that's just part of the story. Like, it's there. For me, all the knights across the tarot depict a sense of movement. We're moving in the realm of water here because it's the Knight of Cups. And so there's a lot of intuitive development that can take place here. And the intuition needs to flow. There needs to be movement in order to create that flow. So I do feel like it's there. What have you got for that one, Chase?
I've actually drawn the devil. The devil, to me, yeah, I feel like those sync really nicely together. So the devil talks about what may be influencing you that may not be the best for you. I think sums up the devil pretty well.
Yeah.
So like what in there, what in that you feel like your intuition is in the right place? Well, maybe there's something there that's tempting you otherwise, and maybe because there's got to be, what am I trying to say right now? There's got to be something on the backside of that made you ask that question. So I feel like the devil is the answer to that question. What has happened that has made you feel like your intuition may not be in the right place? So dig into that and figure out what has made you ask that question, and that's probably going to be the answer to your question.
That's true. I also think that in keeping with both of these cards, there could be a little bit of fear. Perhaps your measure, like that intuition, is butting up against a negative experience that you might have had in the past as well, which is kind of hindering your progress. A little bit of a fear of, like, I mean, we all remember some of the first Ouija board experiences we've had, right? And if you have a negative experience in those formidable years, then your likelihood of going back there and trying that again is going to be less. So there's a little something extra there that you need to look at, definitely and for sure. That devil has a lot to say.
For sure. And, you know, going back to the Ouija board too, like when you're first getting started and we want to mess with all this energy and doing all that, like it's very tempting. Like it wants to draw you in and it wants to talk to you. The devil wants to draw you in and it wants to tempt you. There's a lot of that energy too. I'm trying to find it again so that I can already put it back in my deck. I don't know why I did that, because there's a part of this too that I wanted to talk about. So in this particular devil card, I'm trying to get it real close to the screen. You can see, like, in the background, like they are far away from the devil. They didn't want to get anywhere close to him. The devil's chilling on a cliff. And in this particular card, like the devil, he's got his tail placed just so that it looks like a big old schwank. So I feel like maybe part of this temptation, it does. Part of this too is that maybe the temptation and your intuition, it may be like a sexual thing, is what made me probably pull the card back out. I don't know why that would block your intuition. Don't have an answer for you there, but it could be something to do with that.
Yeah, for sure, for shiz. All right, we're at Changeling IBC, and her question is, I would be honored by a general reading. Is there, if there ends up being time?
General read, my favorite.
I like it.
My favorite.
I tell you what, I bought in an oracle deck just to compensate for ALLORAH'S absence.
We got a nice little compliment from Pamela Musoki. Sorry if I just butchered your name. She said, "Oh my gosh, you guys are the best teachers ever. Learning a lot." Just had to say it. Thank you.
Aww, thanks.
We
That's
just
so nice.
love our craft very much.
Yes, yes.
Love.
Love is the word.
Indeed.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, what are you feeling? You want to go first before you even draw? Let's be quite psychic about this.
All right. Okay.
I'm feeling you will go first. That's my feeling.
I'm feeling it. So we have a general energy read, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this.
I've got 2 decks to shuffle, so while you're doing you.
Okay. Actually, I just had somebody whisper in my ear.
Hey.
Oh, and I see why. Yes.
Can someone turn my cam on? Because it won't let me because you turned it off. Yay!
Hi, friends.
Hi.
Okay, so what are we doing?
So we got a general energy read.
Yes. Oh, look, I can make you a co-host.
From who?
I don't know. I'm just going to make you both co-hosts and see what happens because we have to start playing around with this.
Ooh, general energy.
Co-host too, case. I don't know what that means though.
General energy reading from who?
We've got Changeling, IBC. Should be honored for a general reading.
And I got my 2 cards and they're beautiful. I love them.
I got mine.
Ooh. Okay.
We already psychically said I was going first. You can't take this from me. All right, here goes. I'm first. So I have the Queen of Coins and I have the Wheel of Fortune, aptly known in the, right? It's such a beautiful pairing. Aptly known in the English Astrological Tarot as just simply Fortune. I mean, this is a woman that is on her game. So we're talking about the Queen of Pence. The beautiful thing about the Queen of Pence. So like I was saying earlier, I align the Queen with the energy of the Queen with the union. So we have these pentacles, we have these coins. We're talking about resources. And the great thing about the Queen of Coins is that she knows how to make money and she knows how to spend it. She knows how to put it into the right places. She knows who the right people to give it to. She knows how much she needs to keep for herself. She is so knowledgeable about her craft and what makes gives her bountiful resources. And we have this Wheel of Fortune right next to it that is saying that this year may be very, very profitable for you. Whatever changes you're making in your life, whatever you're working on, whatever whatever you got going on right now, whatever you circled yourself with is working out for you really, really well. And I maybe a little thing whispered in my ear, maybe you don't see that immediately right now the second, but it's coming for you so soon. Like, I'm so excited for you. These 2 cards together are beautiful. I love them.
What you got?
What have you got?
I got the Queen of Wands.
Okay, let me go next then. So let me just refresh myself again for a general reading. All right, so I do believe that I've got the 10 of Wands here. So that suggests burdens and a tremendous amount of responsibility being placed on your shoulders, whether it's there. Refresh me on your cards, Chase.
So I've got the Queen of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay, so Queen of Coins, exactly what Chase said. Wheel of Fortune is changing that kind of business up, and it's going to feel a little bit like overburdening. Like you might feel as though you've stretched yourself a little bit too thin. And here is your spirit reminder, because I have an oracle that I'm breaking it in. Don't judge me. I have got Canary Spirit, sing your own song. Okay, so you've got this push and pull energy in the center here where you could be taking on a little bit too much. So it is genuinely up to you to draw that line in the sand and to say, hey, I'm responsible for how much I'm taking on. If I overburden myself, it's my own fault. It's my own responsibility. So basically that sing your own song is speak your truth by drawing that line in the sand and saying, okay, I think I'm overburdened. I think I might have stretched myself a little bit too much. and being very, very mindful of the words that you use and the way that you articulate that, because, you know, you're really, really expressing yourself to the full extent of the word. And that expression needs to create change so that you don't find yourself completely encumbered.
And I got the Queen of Wands. And so with Chase and Avalon's cards, basically the message of this card is saying you are a go-getter. You are somebody who wants to do it all, who has a superwoman attitude, which is great. But with the Queen of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, the message here is make sure the places that you're spending your energy are good investments. Don't just be doing things to be doing all the things, because then you'll end up in a 10 of Wands situation where you feel like everything is a burden or is an obligation instead of what you want to be doing. So definitely create some boundaries. Woo! What is the next question? What is the next question?
Claire says, I really want to use my intuition more and go into tarot and use this side more, but I'm in that situation where it will be easier not to use that much and go into my Mandarin job. Claire, that is a cop-out. And if you feel like you are well placed within your tarot practice and you would like to use it more, then it takes courage and strength to apply yourself. Your Mandarin job will always be there. It can always be there, but why not pursue something that calls to you right now? To shut that door will have consequences. Let me just say that.
Okay, so the next question is from Christine Ware, and it says, what do I need to know about teaching some of these baby witches the craft? And two cards flew out. And I got Strength reversed and the High Priestess reversed together. So
I'm not pulling cards for that. I'm not. That you've got everything that I need right there.
Yep, that's it.
God, how do I put this without sounding like an a-hole? Because I feel like these are a-hole cards.
You darn millennials. Let's start there.
Yeah. So, okay. Young baby witches cannot always handle the strength from an experienced practitioner.
The truth.
Yeah, and they need to be waded into the water versus thrown in on some occasions, and I feel like that's the message of this card. Don't just put forward bluntness and strength at first. Definitely feel out the energy of the actual baby witch that you're wanting to teach. And you have to, and I think too, this is important anyway, but people are different. And so you have to gauge the way that they learn versus the way that you teach, and you're going to have to adjust. And that's basically what this is saying.
Yeah. And I got the Bat Spirit card from my Oracle deck, and it says Rebirth Assured. And that to me suggests like adopting a completely new approach.
Yeah, let me throw this in there too. So I didn't draw a card, but let me just tell you this too. So without giving away where I work, because I try to keep that and my spiritual life very separate, but we have honestly and truly, like, we have had the most absurd amount of turnover we have ever had in our entire life. We cannot keep all of our stores staffed. And it is because the way that my generation and on were brought up in a workplace are completely different with how millennials learn. And I'm not meaning that to be condescending or, you know, anything like that. It has nothing to do with me, you know, sitting here being like, we're better, or we work harder, or it's because they have literally been brought up completely differently than any way that we understand whatsoever. Once we tapped into that and once that we learned that, like we had to break apart all of our systems that we had been using so that we didn't have, because the thing that's different too, like in my generation and on, it was like we still stuck to a job even though we didn't like it because we had to pay the bills. Well, now we've got, you know, most millennials splitting the bills with somebody else. They have roommates, they share cars. So they have to, the thing that millennials pride themselves the most on and what they feel is more important to them than working someplace where they're happy. The paycheck comes second to the fact that whether they get up in the morning and want to go to work. That means more to them than the actual paycheck. So keeping that in mind, like again, we had to turn around everything on our head. We can no longer come into work and just point to them and be like, do that, or you can leave. Because they'll be like, okay, I'm leaving. So keep that in mind too, as you're trying to educate a younger generation that is coming up. Them being happy means way more to them than, you can't force them to do anything. You can't make them do anything because they just won't. They will leave. They will quit. So that's my 2 cents without pulling cards.
So true.
Yes.
We literally have run out of questions with the exception of FP West. So if you would like to read that, Chase, I know you have to go. Do you want to read this one or would you like to go?
Oh, I would love to. I'm not going to leave out Fred. Fred's my homie.
Oh, beautiful. All right. His question is as such. What can I do to help my husband's separation anxiety from being away for 3 weeks in Washington, D.C.?
So I got the 3 of Wands on this. So a couple things came to my mind with this one. So the first thing is, I don't know if you can see, but in this card, the man's got a telescope there, and he's got 3 lanterns up here, and he's looking out over water. So one of the main messages that I'm getting from this card is keep him focused on why he's in DC and his mission there, but also keep him in the loop about what you're doing as well, and that the home fires are still burning, basically, and keep in contact as much as you can.
Oh, them home fires going to be burning.
I've got one. I need to go in the middle because it goes directly after that. I got the Empress, and that is to be that loving, partner, that supportive person, the one that puts all the feeling into things. So while he's away, you may need to really articulate the things that you want. I'm not saying phone sex, but I might be. And
that's what I'm saying. Sex, my friend.
Yep.
Sex.
And Vulture Spirit card, nothing is wasted, okay? Use all of your opportunities to articulate how much you miss him, how you can't wait for him to be back. Like, use all those opportunities. If you're having dinner and you have peas, write it with your peas. Like, I'm talking all opportunities.
Write it with your peas.
Hey, I've got kids. I've got whimsy here.
And what'd you get?
I got the Lovers and the Devil, and then I dropped them, and then I was shuffling my deck. Well, I was like shuffling, like cleaning my deck. So I'm trying to find them again because I had them all like sprayed out so I could like cleanse them. And then I accidentally, I dropped and shuffled at the same time, and now I can't freaking find them. But I had the Lovers and the Devil fell out. So that's why I was like, sex. Tempt him with sex, my dude.
The Lovers is ruled by Gemini. Maybe he's thinking you're finding multiple people while he's away.
No.
But
that's not funny. That's tarot humor. That's not about
tarot humor.
But that would feed right into that 3 of Wands as well. Like, just keep reminding him that the home fires are burning. Keep him in the loop on everything you're doing as well.
I'm so confused.
Leave no room for doubt. Set up a little Skype sesh late at night. Hey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny because it's true.
I put my Lover's card somewhere. I drew it, and then what did I do with it? It's
Is it on your lap?
No, I was about to feel real stupid though. Oh, there it is. There. So I've already showed you the Devil out of this card. The Lovers. The Lovers.
Oh,
that's the card.
Nice.
Nice.
If you've ever read the Arcana Chronicles, which is a young adult fiction tarot-based fiction novel that was so trashy it was that good. It will give you a totally different perspective on the Lovers card. Just saying.
Okay.
And what book is this?
The Arcana Chronicles.
Ooh, I might have to read that.
I know.
Well,
I hope she finishes it, because I didn't find it the best book ever, but it was really difficult for me not to finish it because it was so trashy. Rightio, beautiful souls. Well, this is it. We have reached the end of our very first live stream in a long time. And once again, sincere apologies for how long it took us to get sorted. Believe it or not, I called Allora when I was dropping off my kids at school, and that was like 9:10, and we were trying to organize it from then. So it took us well over an hour to figure out how to effectively live stream. At one point I thought, it can't be done through this platform simply because you have to pay $100 a month. And then it was like, oh gosh, it was complex, put it that way.
but we did it.
It's now time for us to leave, and we have enjoyed spending this time with you. Say your goodbyes.
Yes, thank you guys so much for coming out, and thank you so much for joining us for this card readers extravaganza. Thank you guys so much for following the links and sticking it out with us while we had technical difficulties. You know there's going to be technical difficulties sometimes. It's just the way it works when you live your life online. So thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us. Enjoyed this immensely. I just love getting together with my soul sisters, and I feel like our energy together is just so, it replenishes my spirit. So thank you so much, you beautiful ladies. And they're not bad to look at, which doesn't hurt. But I love you guys so much, and I will be seeing you guys very soon.
I just want to say thanks, guys, for coming and hanging out with us and waiting through the technical difficulties. And thank you to the new peeps that popped in that got to see a little bit of what we do, because that's so cool, all the way from South Africa. And this is not all we do. Our usual shows have a guest, and we do interviews. We talk about decks, deck creation, artists, all the new tarot news that's coming out. And this was actually just a really fun thing we wanted to do to kind of get back in the swing of things. So hopefully we will schedule another one and see you guys soon.
Perfect. Take care, folks. We'll chat to you soon.